Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Raw Recap with yours truly. It is the Drip King, Jimmy Baby. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We had ourselves a great weekend of wrestling, and it was capped off tonight by a great episode of Raw. A few little bugaboos here and there, but I'm okay with them because the rest of the show was really good. But enough of that. Let's see what we got going on, and then we will jump into the show. We got what up? What up, babe? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining as well, Courtney. Looking good. Yes, you are, babe. Always looking good. And hey, Jimmy, what is up, David? Thank you for joining, and glad to know that you are doing great, bud. And glad to know that you are here with us once again to join the party that is WWE Raw Recap. So let's jump into the show. Obviously, we starting off with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is our new World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you. He is now the man on Raw. It was nice to see a world champion on Raw. I feel like it's been forever, even though we've had Roman on the show a few times. Just to have a champion that is the champion on Monday Night Raw again, it kind of feels nice, feels really good. So that was cool. He comes out and he's talking about being the champion. He's ready to fight. And then out comes AJ Styles. And I'm going to let you know, yes, I audibly groaned when I saw AJ Styles come out because he was drafted to SmackDown. And by God, I said when this draft happened, I wanted to stick to their guns. And this is not sticking to your guns, WWE. This is a no-no. Keep AJ Styles on Raw. You're drunk, buddy. Go home. You don't go back to SmackDown, not on Raw. Don't come back to Raw, buddy. You don't belong here. You drafted to SmackDown. Stay over there. But he comes out there, and it's not to issue a fight. It's not to prolong this feud so far. He comes out just to say congratulations. And then he says, I don't think you deserved anything. I think you've earned it. Nice little sportsmanship here. They end up shaking hands even after that. And then out comes a Judgment Day. What up, Locks? Seen you here before. What up? Thank you for joining, bud. Thank you for joining. So Judgment Day comes out and just reminds them, hey, we run all of WWE. We even did something that Roman Reigns couldn't do, and that's beat the tag team champions last week in Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That's the truth. They did that because Judgment Day does run all of Raw. Thank you. And then this basically sets up the main event for the night. They get challenged. It's AJ and Seth teaming up to take on any two members of the Judgment Day. They better hope it's not Dom. That's all I'm going to say. From there, we go backstage and we get Adam Pearce. He's on the phone and he's bringing up the fact that AJ, I do like that they did this. I still don't like the fact that AJ Styles on Raw, but I do like the fact that they addressed it. He's on the phone, clearly with Triple H, and he says, yeah, I'm trying to make a main event for tonight. AJ Styles, yes, I know he's on SmackDown and he shouldn't be here, but he's here and he's trying to make the match. Then Seth and AJ interrupt, and then Adam Pearce is like, look, I'm trying to make this match. Do you have your gear, AJ? AJ's like, I'm a professional. Of course I do. Okay, match is made official. It's going to be AJ and Seth versus Judgment Day in the main event. Who is it going to be? We don't know, but we will find out when the main event comes around. I'm glad that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn retained the tag titles. I could not believe that Jimmy kicked Roman. Me either, bud. I really thought it was going to be Jay, so I loved it when it was Jimmy. I love being surprised by these things. Still a little bit salty that it wasn't Sami pinning Roman Reigns on Saturday, but the story was fantastic, and I'll let it slide. I'll let my personal feelings, I'll push them to the side and be like, yep, it was still really cool. It was a really good show. Judgment Day was as they should be. They are great. They are so great. Rhea's phenomenal. Dom, I don't think we need to go over what I think about Dom. We did time together in LA. He's fantastic. Damian Priest is like one of the unsung heroes this year, and Finn Balor is Finn Balor. Judgment Day is amazing, and I'm glad that I'm glad they've found their way. Edge is gone, and they have been able to become this huge part of WWE programming and be this successful as well. It's awesome. Judgment Day is awesome. I love him so much. So next up, we get a Money in the Bank qualifier match. They're jumping right into the qualifying matches for Money in the Bank. I love it. We got a month to go. I think we got 5 weeks, not even 4 weeks. We got 5 weeks to get the Money in the Bank, but we're going to do qualifier matches now so we can get to the meat and potatoes of this stuff, baby. Ricochet versus Miz, who has been on a hot streak as of late in the ring. Yes, that's right. I just said the Miz is on a hot streak in the ring. That's crazy, but it's true. Man pulled out a Hurricane Rana tonight. Made me go, what? Miz doing Hurricane Ranas. That's crazy. Good match here. The streak continues for Miz. He has another one. It's not as good as some of the other ones he's had, but it was still a really good match. Ricochet picks up the win. He's now in the Money in the Bank, as he always should be, because that's where he's going to show out the most. That's where he's going to get the oohs and ahs from the crowd. So Ricochet is in the Money in the Bank. I'll be interested to see if they do second chance qualifiers like they have in the past. New people in charge. Don't know if they're going to go that same route. Gives extra people opportunities. So I do like the idea of not doing the second chance opportunities. But I'll get back to that later when we do the other qualifier match for the night, because I kind of wanted someone to be in it. And yeah, he did lose to Snoop Dogg at this year's Mania, but the man had a banger of a match against Seth Rollins. And then who was Shinsuke? He had a really good match with Shinsuke, and then he had a really good match tonight against Ricochet. He hasn't won anything all week, I don't think. All year, I mean. But he's doing some of the best in-ring work I've seen him do in a long time. So that's what I'm talking about when I say he's on a hot streak. Would Dom ever? Heck no, why would he reunite with that deadbeat dad? We ain't going back to Ray. Dom's too smart for that. So after Ricochet wins, we go to a Trish Stratus segment where she comes out, she puts over, and then she introduces Zoe Stark. The greatest pairing that they've done this week, obviously. They do great pairings all the time. They've been on fire with the pairings lately. But this is another one. When Zoe Stark crawled out from under that ring at Night of Champions and helped Trish Stratus, I was like, woo! I hate seeing Becky lose. But man, I love seeing good shit happen. And Zoe Stark has it in the ring. She was never going to have the other aspect. We've seen some stuff in NXT and it was bad. She cannot do character work. Putting her with Trish Stratus, though, phenomenal idea. Chef's kiss. You know I love them chef's kiss. So Zoe comes out and she goes, look, I could have done it the hard way. I could have done it the long way. I could have done it the Becky Lynch way. But why would I want to do that when I could just do I have Trish Stratus here. So I think I should go ahead and let you know now. Thank you, Trish. Then out comes Becky Lynch. She's wearing the same getup from Night of Champions. She looks just like out of it. She's like, oh, I'm mad. She says, Zoe Stark, you've made a mistake, and I'm going to deal with you later. But Trish, since you're still dressed and I'm still dressed for a fight, why don't we just have ourselves a fight? Goes to the ring. Zoe Stark tries to cut her off, but Becky Lynch says, bam, throws her into the barricades, goes in the ring, starts fighting Trish Stratus. Zoe Stark tries to get in. She kicks Zoe Stark and then starts beating down Trish Stratus again. But then eventually Zoe Stark comes in and numbers game is too much. Yeah, it is a very good pair. Like, extremely good pairing. I thought that Trish Stratus was going to take over Damage Control after Mania, and I was laughed at for it. Trish ain't sticking around. Well, I was wrong. She didn't take over Judgment Day or Damage Control, but she now is doing something similar, and she's got Zoe Stark under her wing, and she's going to help her get to the next level. So it's kind of the same thing. I was a little wrong, but she's sticking around. That's the big point. That's the big factor here. She's sticking around to help people. So, but they beat down Becky, and then Zoe takes off her Thank You Trish shirt, and they put it on Becky. And Trish's like, no. Sit her butt up. We're going to put it on her. They start beating Becky down some more, and they try to get it on. It won't work. So then Trish just lays it across Becky again. And Becky's just in the corner, like, knocked out with a Thank You Trish shirt on. It's funny. It's good stuff. Very awesome segment. I love the segment. I hate watching Becky get anything bad happen to her, but I love the segment. It was really, really, really good. I hope that Jimmy versus Roman. Yeah, I think that happens, and I think we get Roman versus Jay at SummerSlam. We're going to get both the Usos back to back. I'm glad. Yes, it's about dang time. And then it'll all be crumbled by the time WrestleMania 40 comes around. And whoa, Cody Rhodes will have his moment, as I said, back in the day in January. Yes, that's what we're going for. But the Trish Stratus segment with Zoe Stark and Becky Lynch was really, really, really good. From there, we get an Indusher versus two jobbers in a squash match. One of the jobbers was Big Body Javi I think it's Big Body Javi from NXT. The other one was dressed up like Matt Hardy from 1998, and it was hilarious. Indusher destroyed him. They dominated him. Typical squash match, but that's what it was. After that, we got Sammy and Kevin Owens. They came out. Sammy cut himself a nice little passionate promo talking about we won. And he's right. They finally did what they said they were going to do. And Sami said, Roman, you may be champion for another 1,000 days. You may go in the Hall of Fame tomorrow. You could very potentially be the GOAT. But every time you look at me and Kevin Owens, and then Kevin Owens gives himself a little stupid grin and smile, says, you're gonna realize that we are the ones that were responsible for the worst day of your life. The bloodline comes crumbling down. They lost at Night of Champions because of Sami Zayn, and it was great. Out comes Imperium, though, which is interesting because I was told by a bunch of people today, because they have sources and everything, that Judgment Day was going to be going after Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That didn't happen, though. Your sources suck. But enough of that. On to the real show. Imperium comes out, and they start talking just nonsense. Kevin Owens snaps, says, you're not allowed to be out here. We didn't call you out here. You're not allowed to be out here. Just going crazy on him. Sami has to calm down. Says, just let me handle this. He's got a point. You're not supposed to be out here. We did not call you out here. Marcel just keeps blah, 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 running at the mouth. Then they get in the ring, and then Kevin Owens like, wait, we want to hear Baldy. We want to hear what Baldy has to say. You do a lot of talking. We want to hear what Baldy has to say. He's just kind of looking crazy. Imperium's getting even more mad, but then out comes, you hear this in the background. He don't even come out. You just hear, shoosh. It was the longest shoosh of all time, and it was fantastic because it made Imperium shut up. Chad Gable comes out. He starts running his mouth by Imperium. And then Kevin Owens is like, can you do that thing that we like? Can we do that thing that I really like? It makes me laugh all the time. And then we get the, thank you. And then that's a segment. And it goes right into Imperium versus Alpha Academy. So nice little just the boom, the boom. The flow of the show is so damn clean at this point. Not Cody The Rock. The Rock, now you don't have to wait for The Rock. I do think The Rock is coming. Not at WrestleMania 40, though. I do think he's coming, though. The Rock. I just don't think it's going to be Rock yet. It was the greatest shoosh ever. And what happened to Tommaso Ciampa? Nothing happened to Tommaso Ciampa. We just got to stop listening to these sources, these people who say they have sources, because they don't have sources. They're just saying stuff. They might know someone who says they work with that. They're not good. They're not good. So that's what I say, that nothing happened to Tommaso Ciampa because he wasn't supposed to be there. If he was supposed to be there, he would have been there. Plans did not change, no matter what everyone wants to say. So we go right into an Alpha Academy versus Imperium match. Not a bad match. Halfway through it, we had Maxine. She's now fully with the whole Alpha Academy stuff. She's wearing a shoe shirt and everything. She's gonna leave with Chad Gable, and it's gonna be so heartbreaking for Otis, my bad. But Valhalla showed up and chased Maxine off. So it's like, no, you're supposed to be on AJ. Take your butt back to SmackDown. Take old Valhalla or whatever the heck her name is. Take her with you. She shouldn't be here. Nonsense. But she chases Maxine away, and then Maxine's gone. Otis gets dropped to the floor, then Chad Gable's left alone. He gets dropped, and then he gets beat by Imperium. Not a bad match, though. I'm not mad Chad Gable lost, because Imperium's awesome, and they should be the next contenders against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because they're a great heel tag team. And Kevin and Sami want to put these guys like Imperium over. That's what they're going to want to do here with their tag title run, and I expect that to be exactly what happens. Yeah, he was supposed to come back because that's what the sources, but again, they don't have sources like they say they do. They could say it all that, but they're constantly wrong. And tonight was another example of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, multiple times. Tommaso Ciampa will be back when Tommaso Ciampa is ready to be back. But yeah, Imperium wins. Good match. Sami and KO were on commentary. They were fantastic, as you would have guessed, because they are fantastic. Good match, good segment, everything about it. It was really good. And from there, we go to a Raquel, Shotzi, Bayley, and Io segment in the back where Bayley tries to make fun of Raquel, but Raquel's like, yo, we already beat you on Friday. And why is it that you're the only person that's part of Damage Control that hasn't won titles? So when you lose tonight, I don't want you to look to blame anyone else. I just want you to look in the mirror and face yourself. Bayley kind of looked shook by that. And then Raquel and Shotzi left out through Gorilla to the match. That match is up next. That is Raquel and Shotzi taking on Bayley and Io Sky, taking on Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, taking on Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey in a 4-way for the tag titles of the women's tag titles. So Titus O'Neil is an ambassador for WWE. He shows up every once in a while on the show just to do talking, but most of the stuff is like charity work and things of that nature. The Big Show is now over on AEW doing commentary, I think, on a show, and then he's also just a backstage help guy. And Aleister Black is now Malachi Black. He's part of the House of Black on AEW, and he is the Trios champion with Buddy Murphy, who is now Buddy Matthews, and Brody King, who is an absolute monster. They're one of the cooler acts over there on AEW. So if you have the time, you have the chance, I would definitely check out Dynamite on Wednesday. Or you could go ahead and check out the Dynamite recap over at the Drip King of Wrestling channel, which I do after Dynamite. And while we're on the subject of that, sorry for last week. Technical difficulties happened. Shouldn't happen again. Weather has been horrible here lately, but I'll be back this week. And my buddy David will be joining me. So, yeah, that's where those guys are at. You should check it out if you get a chance, man. They have some good stuff going over there. So the match happens, and for this, I really thought Chelsea and Sonya were about to take it. They kicked Ronda's head right into the goal post or whatever the heck, the ring post. They gave the "I'm prettier to you" than to get a big old knee to Raquel. 1, 2. Raquel kicked out, and I lost my shit because then I knew exactly what was going to happen. Shotzi came in, did some of her stuff. Tried to do some of her stuff, but in the end, Ronda and Shayna found a way. Ronda made Shotzi tap out, and now Ronda and Shayna are your tag team champions. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't like Ronda Rousey. I really don't like her as a tag team champion. Well, I have to go. See you again next week. I could just come back to watch it. Yeah, you can, man. Just come back and watch it whenever you get a moment. I usually watch these kind of things when I'm in the car riding places because the radio sucks. So I just listen to things like this. So if you get a chance, listen. If not, man, it's all good. No worries. I'm glad that you stopped by. Tidy here. Trying to interact, get some drinking going on at my house. I should be drinking after watching Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville get robbed of the women's tag titles. It was theirs and it was robbed. It was so stupid. I agree. Dolph Ziggler versus JD McDonough is next, and this match just didn't even get started. They double count out because JD was too busy trying to beat up Dolph on the outside, pulled out steel steps, stomped his head into the steel steps, stomped his head into the steel steps again. He was just brutalizing Dolph. He's there to prove it. He's not there to win a match. He's there to let people know, I'm going to hurt you. You bite me, I bite back. That's his mentality, and I like this. I don't necessarily like that they gave a double count out so quick. I would have liked to see the match. But then again, you're making me wait for it. So that's a nice tactic to use. I'm not going completely against it. It just, JD and Dolph are going to cook when they get a match and they actually get the time to do it. Tonight would have been cool. It's not tonight, unfortunately, but I do understand it. When it does happen, though, it's going to be good. Yeah, we should be talking to managers. Chelsea got robbed. It was a beatdown. Dolph will be back. He'll get a pop when he comes back in a few weeks because he's been gone. And then him and JD will have a fantastic match. So just be ready for that. Look forward to that part. Don't worry about what happened. Look forward to that part when it happens. The match is going to be great. There's no doubt about Dolph Ziggler and JD McDonough having a great match. It's just not possible for them to have a bad one. It's going to be great. From there, we get a Cody Rhodes segment. And yeah, he comes out. The crowd tonight was hot. It was a good WWE crowd. I don't get to say this very often. So I'm really, at least when they're in America, I don't get to say it a lot. So it was a good crowd tonight. Very thankful for that. They come out. They did their whoa. And then Cody Rhodes come out and he started talking crap to Brock. He's talking, you dumb. He's only doing it because Brock ain't there. Brock will come out there and murder that man. He's still in a sling and everything. But yeah, he comes out and he challenges Brock. He goes, there's no way you can be satisfied with that. It's 1-1. Let's do it again. Anytime, anywhere. Blah, 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 blah. Cody's just challenging Brock. SummerSlam is where it'll happen. I'll be curious what happens between now and then, honestly, with Cody Rhodes' broken arm. What are we going to do? I don't know. Pretty sure he got drafted to Raw, didn't he? So he's a Raw talent. I don't think he was one of those free agents, so I'm assuming he is. Then again, we don't know because we had freaking Valhalla and AJ Styles on Raw tonight. Like, don't do that, man. Yeah, so that's what Cody Rhodes just challenged Brock, and Brock wasn't there, so he couldn't accept it. But I imagine he'll probably be back next week to accept it, hopefully, and beat Cody Rhodes down. From there, Riddle is being interviewed in the back. He's talking about something, but then Gunther comes up. I think he's talking about Money in the Bank because he could qualify for it. And then Gunther pops up and says, "You should qualify for it, and you should cash it in against me because I enjoy hurting you. I enjoy embarrassing you. I enjoy doing all the bad things to you, blah, 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 blah." It wasn't the best promo from Gunther, but we don't watch Gunther for promos. We watch Gunther for slaps and chops and stuff. He was a free. Okay, well, then he's going to be on either show. That's all I can say about that one. I really don't know. He will have a match with JD McDonough, though. Guarantee he will have a legit match with JD McDonough. Dolph Ziggler will have a legit match with JD McDonough eventually. Before Money in the Bank. I'll say that. We'll have a match before Money in the Bank. But then Gunther, before he walked off, he says, "Good luck." And Riddle's like, "What? What, bro?" So, oh boy, Gunther's going to screw Riddle out of his qualifier match, and then that's going to... I want it to be at SummerSlam. It might be at Money in the Bank. I wouldn't be mad at both because, the match will be... They're going to beat the holy piss out of each other. They've done it before. They'll do it again. It's going to be great. So, not mad at that. Ronda and Shayna segment, and Ronda says, "Well, now I got D's nuts." I don't know. She's talking nonsense. I didn't even get it. A lot of people I saw making fun of her too. Good. Make fun of Ronda until she leaves because I don't want her on Raw no more. Go back to SmackDown at least. I don't watch that one every week, so it wouldn't even faze me. So I don't want to see Ronda every week, man. But yeah, just brag about their tag titles. Ronda's like, tired of not getting opportunities. Like, yo, stop. You sound silly. You sound like people in the IWC right now. Next up, Money in the Bank qualifier match. And I'll say that this was my match of the night, baby. That's my new segment I'm going to do. Match of the night, baby. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bronson Reed was that match of the night tonight because these boys cooked, as the IWC likes to say with things. I really thought Bronson Reed was going to win this match. Oh, wait. He's still up in here. I know something Triple H could do for 35. I don't like that. I like them doing things like that on the network. I don't like them doing it on Raw. Raw should be just like a live show and going to pass things like that all the time. Because they did a few of these kind of shows during the pandemic at first when they didn't have a clue what they were going to do. And I tuned out of those shows because I've seen it. If I want to go back and watch it, I'll go back and watch it. So I wouldn't do it on a weekly television show. I would definitely do something like that. Honestly, every 5 years, I would do that on the network. Just best matches of the last 5 years. Like, they could do something like that for sure. I thought it was going to be, yeah, for sure. Bronson came out, though. Him and Shinsuke have amazing chemistry. I like that Shinsuke went for his little slide out of the ring German suplex, and Bronson's too big, too strong. He says, nope, Shinsuke couldn't do it. So Shinsuke had to get creative. Took 3 Kinshasas. 3. One in the ring, one out of the ring off the steel steps, and then another one as Bronson slid in at 9 because he was about to get counted out, and then he got caught with it as soon as he got up. 1, 2, 3. So he is protected hella crazy here. Good on whoever booked this one. Good on them because it was great how they finished this match. Shinsuke looked like a warrior. Bronson looked like a soldier. Great all around. If there's a second chance opportunity, I want it to be Bronson Reed that gets it because he should. He's too damn good. I say it and I'll say it so I'm blue in the face every single week. Bronson Reed is, I think he's the second best hiring. Possibly the first best rehire that Triple H has made. Chelsea Green being the other one. Braun Strowman's in that conversation as well. But Bronson Reed has been so damn impressive with since he got rehired. The Tsunami Splash is just fun to watch. He doesn't have bad matches, and he is legit a big boy for someone to go in there and have to prove themselves with. Bronson Reed's phenomenal, and I love it, and I want him in the Money in the Bank match because I want to see him throwing people around and slamming people left and right. It's going to be great. If not, though, I'm not mad because, again, I was saying I don't like the idea of a second chance because it takes away opportunities from others. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing here. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool. I'm cool either way. Man, I really thought Bronson Reed was going to win. But it's cool that Shinsuke got to win. It's cool that it's happening for him. He looked good tonight. Triple H is going to get behind that, man. You know that's for sure. And Shinsuke and Ricochet are your 2 qualifiers for tonight to make it to Money in the Bank. They will have more on SmackDown. The women's qualifier matches are next week starting. You're getting Natalia versus Zoe Stark, and then I think the other one was Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville. That's going to be interesting because Zoe and Becky, I don't see Becky making it. That's all I'm going to say. I was impressed with Mustafa Ali's performance against Scott. Yeah, hey, Mustafa Ali is fantastic in the ring. His problem has always been he doesn't have the gimmick to get him over with the fans long term. There's been short-term things where like, oh, this is cool, this is awesome. And Retribution could have been really, 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 really good for him. But they just never gave him a reason was why Retribution was happening. They never got really fully behind Retribution. They turned it into just a ridiculous act. And yeah, they've done that with everything Ali's had. I think they've already dropped the positive Ali gimmick for him too. And it's like, why? Let this man get him something that can breathe because he can go in the ring all day long. No qualifying matches. I highly doubt he's going to be in one. Unless it's against JD, that'd be cool. But yeah, I don't see it happening. But yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura beats Bronson Reed to join the Money in the Bank match. Next up, Judgment Day is warming up backstage. Old Dom, he's getting them guns ready. He's shadow boxing and stuff. Whew, that's not a good sign for Seth and AJ if old Dom's getting ready. Come up and they say, hey, we're busy. But then they interview Rhea saying, hey, you know, you won pretty impressively on Saturday. And then Rhea just runs down Natty. So that's what's going to be like. She should have known better. Just keeps running down Natty. So I feel like we're probably going to get Rhea versus Natty again at not Night Champion, at Money in the Bank. Probably a real match this time, not another squash match. But I think that's probably what they're going to go with. But then they end up shooing Byron Saxton off like, hey, we're busy. Go, 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 go. Yeah, he's okay. That's not a real injury. He's faking it. He's doing some daddy stuff right now. So next up is the main event. This night flew by. That's how I know it's a good show. I always say this. If the show flies by and I don't feel like I'm just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the night to end, and I like look at my watch and be like, oh, snap. It's already time for the main event. I know it's a good show. That's what happened tonight. AJ comes down. Seth comes down. Judgment Day comes down. Damien's in the ring. Dom, he's taking a shot. He's getting ready to bust some butt. I felt bad for Seth and AJ there for a minute. I was like, Seth's going to lose his first night as champion. That's terrible. But then Finn attacks from behind and Dom leaves. Dom was never going to be in the match. Thankfully, that would have been completely unfair for Seth and AJ because Dom and Damien would have just destroyed him. But the match ended up being really good. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'm burping and yawning like crazy tonight. Dom and Rhea ended up getting ejected halfway through the match. That's nonsense, but we had to make it fair because it's not fair when Dom's around for anybody. He's just too dangerous. And in the end, AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm. This was a great ending. The whole ending. It was just really cool how they did it. So Seth's on the outside or something. Yeah, he got knocked outside. He suicide dive. I'm drawing blanks here. He suicide dives Finn just to take him out. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm on Priest. Priest backs up so he can't do it. So AJ comes in the ring, and as he does, he runs at Damian Priest, but Damian Priest kicks him, puts him up. Razor's Edge. I like that they called it a Razor's Edge. I don't think they've done that yet. I don't know if they've called it in the past, but I don't ever recall them saying Razor's Edge. Hits AJ with the Razor's Edge, goes for the pin. 1, 2, here comes Seth and stomps Damian Priest out of the pin and then goes to the corner, starts, come on, AJ, tag me in. AJ finally gets over, tags in. Seth comes in, stomps Damian Priest again. Seth took 2 stomps to take Damian. Thank you. I really hope Damian Priest gets a world heavyweight title match against Seth Rollins or I don't want a match. I want a program. Damian Priest has deserved it. But 2 stomps to Damian Priest. Seth picks up the win. Him and AJ hold up hands. No dysfunction at all. Thank you for that. Seth, now AJ can take his little butt back to SmackDown, stay over there, never come back to Raw. He will be on SmackDown for his 1,000-day celebration as champion, in which it will definitely not be a fun time for him. It's going to be a funny, funny, funny night for sure. If Jimmy can't beat Roman, I know one superstar that could. Bad Bunny. I wouldn't even be mad to watch Bad Bunny and Roman. I think it'd be funny. I think AEW on Wednesdays has those shows that flies by as well. A lot of the times, not every week, but a lot of times. But then every week WWE don't have that either. So it happens on both of those. I don't watch any other ones routinely, so I can't speak on them. But AEW Dynamite and Raw, SmackDown too, they have these nights where they just kind of fly by, and those are the ones I wait for because they're really good. So yeah, that's the show. Great show. Really great show coming around Night of Champions. As I said, I don't think WWE has missed all year. I think they're on a roll. It is awesome. I'm very excited about it. I'm sorry if my excitement is too much for some people. I truly am, but I'm excited about it. And if you can't, I don't know, I never thought this would be something I have to deal with where people mad at me because I'm so excited and so happy about something that I'm enjoying. It's weird, but what it is. See you next week, David. Hey, man, I really appreciate you staying, bud. So I'll see you next week and look forward to it. 1,006 days after that. Yeah, you know what. It's the 1,000 days. You know what I'm talking about. Come on now. But yeah, he's the one, but I don't care because we the twos over here. I don't want to be the ones because that means I have to rock with Roman, and I don't rock with Roman. It's Sammy and KO all day over here. But yeah, WWE's been fantastic. It's been such a good. Night of Champions was phenomenal. Just so good. Raw was good. SmackDown's been like WWE's on a roll. I'm so excited. Money in the Bank. I'm really excited for Money in the Bank. I can't wait to see where they're going with Seth because there's a lot of options. We ain't talking about Roman anymore. We talking about Seth as a champion now, baby. There's options out there, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be so fun as long as they keep SmackDown people on SmackDown or Raw people on Raw. Oh, that drives me crazy so bad. Heck, even NXT had a good showing this week. AEW had a good pay-per-view. I won't say good pay-per-view. It was a pay-per-view. There was some good stuff on the pay-per-view. I'll say that. I won't go into it, though. I won't be mean. Because, again, I did enjoy some of it. So there's no reason to be mean about it. But, yeah. I'll be back next Monday for the Raw recap. Hopefully they just keep this roll, this going. Because Raw has been fantastic. It's so good. I'm not sure what you're saying, bud. Sorry. What you that... Oh. Roman gonna beat Jimmy Uso. I think that's what you're trying. I'm sorry. I don't know, but Roman's gonna beat Jimmy Uso. Yeah. To be fair, they addressed the AJ one, and Valhalla had to jump the crowd. So again, I know I'm gonna get accused of all the nonsense here, but it is what it is. The fact that they addressed the AJ one, I do like, and it's a continuation of the Seth story. So if this is a 1 week thing, it's like, okay, you did it, be done with it. And the Valhalla one, again, she wasn't supposed to be there. It's not like she wasn't in the back hanging out. She had to jump. So there's things that's happened that make me go like, okay, I'll listen to it. I don't like it, but I'll listen to it. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't work. That's something I wish people would kind of get in their head. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't work. AJ being there worked for what they did. They addressed it. Just don't make it an every week occurrence. Just don't do that. There's a possibility it might end up being that. I think there's a possibility that AJ could be Seth's next feud. They're going to continue it. And if that happens, I'll poop on it all day. I shouldn't do that. But, and again, Valhalla, she jumped the rail to do what she had to do. And it's a continuation from, I think, last week, SmackDown? No, that was last week on Raw. Are Viking Raiders on Raw? I don't even know. That's why the draft needs to mean something, because I'm confused at this point. This is bullcrap. Anyway, and that's your prerogative, man. I ain't mad at you for it. You watch what you enjoy. That's what I tell everybody. Watch what you enjoy. And if you just so happen to like something more than you like the other, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people are going to tell you there is. There isn't. There's never anything wrong with just watching what you like. And if you don't watch what you don't like, hey, you're my kind of people. Matter of fact, before we go, I'm going to go look this up because I have to know at this point. I have to know. Because the whole thing started last week on Raw, I think, with Valhalla and Maxine. So if the match happened last week on Raw, that means that they're on Raw, correct? That would be my assumption. Yes, they're on Raw. So yeah, Valhalla's fine. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was wrong there. Shame, Jimmy. Shame. Valhalla right there. I'm looking at her. She's on the Raw roster. So only AJ. Don't take Valhalla with you. She belongs on Raw. But yes, people, that's the show. Thank you very much. I'll be back next week for the Raw recap. There was no Drip King of Wrestling, no Positively Awesome Wrestling over at the Drip King of Wrestling channel this week because of the crazy week, Night of Champions, Double or Nothing, Battleground, Impact even had a pay-per-view, I think started. There was a lot of stuff this week. So I wasn't going to take away from that. I want everybody to go out there and watch the wrestling and enjoy it. So I know show. We will be back this Sunday, though, and we'll have plenty to talk about. And then also this week at Drip King of Wrestling after Dynamite, I will return for the Dynamite recap along with my good buddy David. He will be returning this week as well to talk about all the stuff that happened on Dynamite, as well as a few things that happened at Double or Nothing. This week, I also have a Meet the Wrestle Buddies interview with our good buddy Critch. It'll be on this channel here, the Wrestle Buddy channel, Friday or Saturday. I'm not 100% sure. So just go over to the channel, make sure you got the bell on so that way you won't miss it. I believe it's Saturday, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But we got that going this week as well. And yeah, and there's a lot of stuff over Wrestle Buddy for you to go check out. So if you haven't done so, go do so. And if you haven't caught up, there's lots of stuff for you to watch in the meantime. But that's the show. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate the love and support that has been given to me every single week. And with that, I just want to go ahead and leave with this one last closing remark. No matter what, please, everybody, just enjoy wrestling right here. Just enjoy wrestling. That's all I want people to do. Just enjoy it. Please.